Peace, assalamu alaikum, hotel, grand rising, praise God, what's up, what's happening, or whatever it is that you subscribe to. I need y'all to ride with me for a few minutes as I tell y'all the story about Crip from Charleston, South Carolina, part 4. And while you ride with me, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that share button, comment, do what you gotta do, and if you don't want to do it, it's cool. I appreciate the view. And I really appreciate everybody who rocking with me, man. My page growing. I need 200 and something more subscribers before I reach 1,000. So I appreciate everybody who be coming and who be tuning in. And yeah, I appreciate it, bro. I got a lot of content, bro. Like, I did 12 years in prison. So I got a lot of content. I got a lot of street stories. I got a lot of woke folk stories. Like, you know, I'm 46 years old, bro. You know, God blessed me to see 46. And I got some stories to tell, and I'm going to tell them. So I appreciate everybody for rocking with me. So Crip from Charleston, South Carolina, he just beat up the kitchen man. And I told y'all the kitchen man, he one of the ones, he do not want to let it go. Now, some guys, you know, after they get to fighting or whatever, especially if it was a good fight, like you ain't just get beat up, you fought back, you know what I mean? But some guys just they can't let it go. And it could be many reasons why kitchen man didn't let it go. You know, who knows what he was thinking, you know what I mean? But at this point, you know, I'll never find out. So on this particular day, a few days have passed after they get the fight. On this particular day, they called institutional lockdown. Me and G Wood, we sitting on the rack, we politicking, we talking, you know, sipping on some coffee. It's doing our time the way we doing our time. And the officer come to the door. Open the door. Institutional lockdown, institutional lockdown. Catch your rack, get on your bunk, get on your bunk. So when they call institutional lockdown, you know, you're gonna have people scrambling, going to the microwave, going to get ice, going to heat up their coffee, people looking out the window to see if the squad coming down. I forgot what you call these people that have on the army fatigue when something going on. Some prison call them the CERT team. I think you call them ERT. I think that's what it is. I can't remember that part. But so when they call institutional lockdown, it's for a few reasons. But the main reason is somebody didn't escape, so they shut the whole prison down. Or somebody got their account messed up, they shut the whole prison down to make sure they get their account right. Or banging then kicked off in another camp, and they don't want it to spread. But you really can't stop it from spreading, because hell, it ain't no way you can separate us. We on open base zones, 100 to 120 inmates on each zone. So if a banging kick off on another camp, how you gonna stop a banging from kicking off on this zone, on our zone, when we all in here together? Ain't no way to separate us, you know what I mean? So you can't stop that. So making us get on our rack is really for nothing, for real. And what else they'll call institutional lockdown for? Oh, yeah, they'll call institutional lockdown if it's about to be a major shakedown. That's why some guys running to the window and making sure the ERT ain't coming. So ain't nobody coming. So, you know, people still scrambling, hiding their contraband, taking their contraband to people who be holding stuff for them. You know what I mean? So the officer get on the buzzer in the tower. Catch your rack, inmate. Catch your rack, inmates. I ain't gonna say it no more. Institutional lockdown. Institutional lockdown. So everybody go to their rack. You know what I mean? And so on days like this, when they call institutional lockdown, if they ain't about to come do no major search, you could be on your rack for hours. And it's really a good thing for me, because I'm a reader, and that means I can read in peace without people bothering me, you know what I mean? Unless, you know, it's my rack mate, or, you know, somebody who sleep beside me, you know, I could just read in peace. And so that's what I was doing. I was laid back on my rack, I'm reading. And Crip cuz from Charleston, South Carolina. I told y'all he slept right beside me. So he trying to talk to me, you know what I mean? I'm looking at him like, damn, I'm saying to myself, damn, bro, you see I'm reading. You know, I hated that, you know what I mean? So I ain't say nothing though, so I sit up, I'm finna go on and entertain the conversation. And what I used to do when people irritate me, you know what I mean? What I used to do, I started picking their brain, cause I'm telling you, all I did was read, bro. I thought I was a philosopher, for real. Like I thought I was a philosopher. So I try to pick their brain, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? I used to do like manipulative stuff like that, you know what I mean? But kind of find out, Crip cuz were really intelligent, you know what I mean? So we get to talking, and I'm asking them questions, you know, about, you know, what he was doing on the streets or whatnot. And he was keeping it in the book with me. Like, he wasn't doing all that lying like he was doing the other Crips or whatnot. Like, you could tell, like, some people, they be putting on the front, like, let me say this right quick. 9 times out of 10, all that gangster talk, all that tough talk, all that street talk, 9 times out of 10 is really a front. You know what I mean? For most people. Because most people wasn't raised to be like that. Most people was raised in good houses. Their mom tried or their dad tried, and they just made their own decision to go another route. Most people is not like that. But they became something that they wasn't. Like, over time, you know, they could have been doing it for so long, and it just became a part of their personality. So they got to keep up this front. You know what I mean? They got to keep it, really just being fake to me. But now you do got some people who were really raised that way, and it's all they know. And you know, most of the time, them be the ones that change and turn their life around, versus the ones who wasn't raised like that and happen to keep up this front. You know what I mean? But I wasn't raised to be no street dude either. But you know, I came to my senses. You know what I mean? And start playing with myself, you know what I mean? Especially when I went back to prison that second time, you know what I mean? But anyway, come to find out, Crip cuz was really a good dude, man. Like, all that, I'm Crippin' cuz, I'm for real about this Crippin' cuz, all that was really a front. Crip cuz came from a good family, man. Like, once I gave him my story, my background, cause you know, I ain't finna be doing all that old lying. I just didn't do that. But once I gave him my story, you know what I mean, he came clean. Crip cuz was raised by 2 parents. Both of the parents was in the military. His parents got money, but he just made a decision to live that lifestyle, and they ended up cutting him off because he wouldn't change. You know what I mean? He 40-something, damn near 50-something years old, still in and out of jail. He told me this is his 3rd time in prison. He just so happened to get caught up in Mississippi. And he told me he even went to the Army. He said he stayed in the Army about 2 years and got a dishonorable discharge. You know what I mean? Then he came, he got in them streets, and he ended up on drugs. You know what I mean? So, you know, I'm asking him like, well, damn, Crip cuz, why you act like that, man? He's like, man, you know, I'm really a good dude, man. I'm just, you know, I feel like I'm in prison. I feel like this how I gotta act. I'm like, well, I don't act like that. He's like, yeah, I see. He was like, man, whether you know it or not, I only been on the zone a few months, but whether you know it or not, bro, I be watching you, man, you know, and I really respect you. I got mad respect for you for being so young, and you ain't trying to act like the rest of these youngsters up here, you know what I mean? So I'm saying, like, you never know who you influencing just by being yourself, man. You know what I mean? So if you being yourself and you ain't trying to be you ain't trying to be like everybody else and getting yourself involved in all this, especially in prison, getting yourself involved in all this madness that go on in prison, bro. You never know who's watching, and you never know who you can change by you just being yourself. Sometimes people don't even say it, you know what I mean? Because some people feel like They got to put on this act in prison to survive. For some people, it's a survival tool. It's a survival mechanism. And then when they get home, they do a full 180, a full 360 change, or however you want to put it. If y'all can pick up what I'm putting down. So I'm like, dang, man, that's crazy. Crip cuz, he like, yeah, man, you know, I know better, man. You know, I know better, and I got plans when I come home. I got plans to make amends with my family, man. I got plans to do better. I don't got but a couple more years. I told y'all, Crip cuz didn't have but 3 years. You know what I mean? So, you know, we chopped it up for a minute, and then I hear Kitchen Man, he run to the tower, and when Kitchen Man run to the tower, the officers will get on the buzzer, like, catch your rat inmate, catch your rat inmate, it's institution lockdown. So Kitchen Man, he got a cup, one of them plastic Kool-Aid cups. He like, he telling the officer, let me heat up the coffee right quick. So the officer like, go ahead, you know what I mean? So Kitchen Man go heat up the coffee, and ain't nobody really paying no attention but G Wood. So what my rack was at, I can see G Wood. You got the roll racks I'm on, you got some racks in the middle, and then you got G Wood. G Wood rack was against the wall. You got them roll racks. So I guess G Wood peeping what's going on. So G Wood called me. You know, we knows G. You know, we always being nosy. So G Wood say, hey little brother, hey little brother. So I'm like, what's up, G Wood? He pointed his eyes, you know, pointing at his ears, and he telling me, keep your eyes and your ears open. So I'm saying to myself, all right, cool. So me and Crip cuz, we still talking, and ain't nobody really paying attention to Kitchen Man. But after G Wood told me that, I went to looking around, you know, and I see Kitchen Man standing at the microwave. Now, me thinking about it now, in hindsight, and thinking about it after it happened, it don't take but a couple minutes to warm the coffee up. And it seemed like Kitchen Man was at the microwave for, I know, about 5 or 6 minutes. And so doing the bell on the microwave ring, ding. So Kitchen Man, he opened the microwave. So I'm watching him because of what G Wood told me, and he had to tell me this because he watching Kitchen Man too. He feel like Kitchen Man up to something. So let me go back a little bit. I didn't tell y'all the backstory about Kitchen Man. Now, I really didn't too much talk to Kitchen Man on his own, unless it had something to do with some kitchen food. You know, you just don't, you don't be cool with everybody on his own. Not saying you got a problem with them or nothing, but you just don't talk to everybody every day. You know what I mean? So I really didn't talk to him, but of course, G Wood told me what Kitchen Man was locked up for. So Kitchen Man was locked up. Kitchen Man had been locked up about 15 years. And Kitchen Man was locked up for attempted unaliving. I'm trying to stop using certain words. So he was locked up for attempted unaliving, and they gave him 30 mandatory years. So he got about like 15 more years to go. And G Wood was telling me he know Kitchen Man from another camp before they came to Unit 30. So, you know, this what G Wood told me. He told me about Kitchen Man way before this happened. So I just kind of want to give y'all the backstory about Kitchen Man. And he was like, Kitchen Man was really known for getting active for real in prison, even though he was a peon, because you got to think, this is in the mid 90s or the late 90s. This is in 1997, 1998, somewhere up in there. I had been in prison almost 3 years. I got locked up in 96, so it was like 1998 going on 1999. And the history I got, the gangs or the organization didn't start coming to the Mississippi prison until the mid 80s and early 90s. So you know, the organizations and gangs in Mississippi, they damn near knew. So you had people that was in prison way before the gangs and the organizations brought it to prison. You know what I mean? And some people became a part of the gang or the organization in prison because the young folk were bringing the stuff in prison. You know what I mean? So you got to think about that. So he wasn't affiliated with nothing. So doing time before the gangs and the organizations came to prison, it was a totally different ball game. It was man for man. Like, you had to be a man for real. So he was telling me, you know, Kitchen Man was known for, you know, he gonna poke something in you. But you know, when the gangs and the organizations came in, kind of changed the way prison was ran. Like, people ain't really being no man no more because you got people that's gonna jump on you. You know what I mean? And so, you know, people don't be wanting them issues. Now, you got some people, they don't care how many it is. They gonna stand tall and they still gonna sling that iron. But for the most part, people be trying to avoid the situation with the gang and the organization because they know how it's gonna turn out. So that's the backstory of Kitchen Man. So the microwave bell ring, he get the cup, and I know he heating up coffee, but usually people don't let their coffee get hot enough where you gotta have a towel around it. You know what I mean? So I'm like, dang, what Kitchen Man got going on? And so Kitchen Man, he slipped on the other side of the wall, but you can see the microwave, like the whole zone can see the microwave because it's up there by the door. You got a microwave, you got 2 microwaves on each zone. You got a microwave on this side of the door, and you got a microwave on this side of the door. But you can look up no matter where you at in the zone, unless you way in the back on the other side of the wall, you can look up and see the microwave. So Kitchen Man, he ain't even going towards his wreck. He ain't even going towards the other side of the zone. He coming towards me and Crip Cuz way. So by this time, Crip Cuz, you know, me and him still talking, but I'm paying attention. So Kitchen Man, he get to skipping and he speed up a little bit, and he running. He said, I got your ass now, old bitch ass nigga. Dang, I'm trying to stop using them words. I got your ass now. What's up, old bitch ass nigga? And he running towards Crip Cuz. And Crip Cuz, he got his shirt off. He got flip flops on. Like, he comfortable. I guess he comfortable because it's institutional lockdown and everybody on their rack. So he really ain't moving fast enough. You know what I mean? So Kitchen Man get close and he dash whatever it is that he had in that cup. It wasn't no coffee. I come to find out later, it was some hot water, boiling hot water, salt, vinegar, and sugar. Now what that's supposed to do to you, I don't know. But this is what G Wood told me what was in the cup. So Crip Cuz from Charleston, South Carolina, he ain't moving fast enough, and it really ain't nowhere to run because you got a rack behind him, you got the wall and the window right there, you got my rack in front of him, and then you got the aisleway. So he can't run towards the aisleway because he'll be running right to Kitchen Man. So he was like trying to get under his rack, and he ended up hitting his head on the top rack because all the racks against the wall got top rack, but the racks in the middle is just one rack. So he hit his head, he kind of hit his head on the top rack, and when Kitchen Man dashed whatever he had in that cup, it kind of hit him right there on the face and hit him all over the chest, and he went to screaming. Ah! 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 So Kitchen Man like, yeah, I got your ass now. I got your bitch ass now. And then when he hit him with the whatever he had, whatever that was hot he had in that Kool-Aid cup, he pulled out the tube. He had a ice pick. It was probably about that long. Now, some guys in prison, they had them big old knives, but you really got to know what you're doing with them big old knives, because you really ain't got but one good swing. And if you swinging at somebody who know how to play defense and offense, they gonna do something to you. So, but with them ice picks, I mean, you can move fast. You know what I mean? You can move fast. So he pull out the ice pick, and by this time, because I was trying to avoid whatever it was he was throwing, I had them rolled over on the other side of the rack, and then the officer on the intercom, "Get on your rack, inmate. Get on your rack, inmate." And you already know he calling the code. But I'm guessing Kitchen Man been in prison so long, he calculated this move, because whatever we on institutional lockdown for, 9 times out of 10, the ERT or whoever they is, I can't remember their name, they somewhere else dealing with something. So it's gonna take them a minute to get to this camp. And I told y'all, Parchment is big. Like, Parchment is a town, and you got different camps in Parchment. You got 29, you got 30, you got 26, you got 12, you got 10. You got a whole bunch of camps in Parchment, and they spread out. I'm talking about miles apart. So it's gonna take them a minute, and the ambulance a minute to get there. So I'm guessing Kitchen Man then used this opportunity to get his get back on Crip Cuz from Charleston, South Carolina. So when he pulled the ice pick out, he went to hitting Crip Cuz, man. Like, he caught him down bad, caught him slipping. Like, Crip Cuz can't even defend himself. So you got people jumping off that rack to see what's going on, and then the Crips, they fall over there. Frank G fall over there, and I mean, it was really too late. He had them poke Crip Cuz about 6 times. I'm talking about, it's blood everywhere, and that's real traumatizing, bro. I thank God so much. Now, I had somebody try to stab me. He kind of caught me in my chest, but I thank God so much I never was in a position to get stabbed up like that. You know what I mean? Or having to stab somebody. I think I'm trying to stop using the word. Or having to poke somebody like that, man, because, I mean, that's traumatizing, bro. I seen so many dudes get poked up. But anyway, so when the Crips and everybody coming over there to see what's going on, the officer's still in the tower, and one of the officers that came to the door. Now, when something going on like this, you don't got but two officers in the building. Depends on who the officer is, they not coming on that zone. They waiting on the ERT or whoever they is to come and regulate the situation. So if Kitchen Man really wanted to unalive Crip Cuz, he could have. But, you know, once he came back to, because he had psyched himself out for a minute, but once he came back to, I guess he just realized, you know, he got his revenge, so he bagged up off Crip Cuz. But while he was bagging up off Crip Cuz, the other Crip, they bum brushed him. I'm talking about, they whooped him, took the knife from him, and one of them ended up poking Kitchen Man. And Kitchen Man, and, you know, once they beat him up and poke him, they ain't just do it to a point. They trying to unalive him. You know, once they got him down bad, you know, they kind of fell back, because the officer looking, yeah, but all y'all finna go to the hole, and you probably finna get some more time. You know what I mean? And them folks are not playing by that in the penitentiary. So G was like, dang little bro, you good? You get some of that hot stuff on you? I'm like, no, bro, I'm good. So Kitchen Man crawling to the door, because he done got poked a couple times. So when he fall to the door, the officer buzzed the door, let him out. He got there in the hallway. And Crip Cuz from Charleston, South Carolina, he just laying on his rack. I mean, he's still breathing, but he poked up pretty bad, man. Like, he bleeding, bro. Like you can. God told y'all he had his shirt off, so you can kind of where he got hit at. You can kind of see little holes. And I'm kind of glad that Kitchen Man really wasn't pushing it in him far enough where he had to pull it out. He was just hitting him like that. You know what I mean? But you know them ice picks, man. They'll puncture something if he hit you in the right spot. You know what I mean? So the ERT, they finally come down. Everybody get on your rack, and the ambulance come. Kitchen Man, he gone. They put Crip cuz on the little stretcher thing. It really wasn't no stretcher. I don't know what to call it. And they took him out. They came and got the Crips, maced them down, handcuffed them, took them out, and they tore that zone up, bro. They found tools, which is the knives. They found money. They found weed. I'm talking about they tore that zone up, man. You know, I never did hear from whatever happened to Crip cuz. I hope Crip cuz turned out alright. And I heard Kitchen Man, he ended up staying in the hole for a long time before they let him back out. But yeah, man. So I'm saying, like, Crip cuz really turned out to be a good dude at the end of the day. But all that acting and trying to be somebody that you ain't. Not saying that he wasn't tough or, you know, not saying he really didn't live that life at one point in time, but come on, bro, you ain't come from that. You weren't raised like that. Now you in a situation where you could have got yourself unalive. I don't think, because if he was unalived on the zone, they would have thrown the sheet over him. I mean, he was still breathing when they came and got him. So I guess he turned out alright. But I'm saying, bro, all that faking and flashing, bro. Yeah, as old as Crip cuz was, man, you supposed to been sit down somewhere. And that's one thing I don't understand. Like, I got a lot of family members and a lot of homeboys, 50-something years old, and they still in and out of jail talking about they're gangster, bro. Like, come on, man. And you know, at this time I'm like 19 years old, and I'm cool, bro. I'm moving around. I'm moving around like I'm like 40. I'm moving around like men in their 40s and 50s supposed to at 19. Not saying I ain't getting no trouble or, you know, I ain't do certain stuff, but for the most part, man, you know, I was a young wise brother, bro, and I thank God so much for giving me the brain and be able to think the way I was thinking then and the way I'm thinking now. So yeah, that's what happened to Crip cuz, man. You know what I mean? Crip cuz got caught slipping bad, man. So I'm about to go on and start a series on G Wood. Me and G Wood was on his own about 2-3 years. So I got some stories about G Wood. So I'm about to start a G Wood stories tomorrow. So until the next story, y'all be smooth out here.